Hello, news lovers and truth seekers. Grab your popcorn because today, the Nigerian legal system just performed a plot twist so epic, Hollywood would be taking notes. We're talking about a legal earthquake, darling, that has shaken the very foundations of the federal government's case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And trust me, when I say shaken, I mean absolutely rattled, like a maraca at a street party. Today, the Abuja division of the Court of Appeal did what many thought was impossible. They quashed the entire 7-count charge against the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, you heard that right. Not just a minor adjustment, not a slight tweak, but a full-blown case dismissed, go directly to, well, let's talk about that later, kind of quashing. And why? Because the federal government apparently decided that legal procedures were more like suggestions than actual rules. Oh, the audacity. Now, let's peel back the layers of this legal onion because it's got more drama than a Nollywood movie marathon. The 3-man panel of the appeal court, led by the distinguished Justice Jumai Hannatu Sankey, didn't mince words. They declared the entire trial a nullity. A nullity, folks. That's like baking a cake only for the judges to say, sorry, but you forgot the flour, the eggs, and basically the entire recipe. This isn't a cake, it's just, well, a mess. The crux of their argument, the golden bullet, was the notorious issue of illegal rendition. For those of you not fluent in legal jargon, rendition is when a country sends someone to another country. Illegal rendition is when they do it without asking nicely, without following the actual law, and usually in a manner that screams, "We just snatched him." In Kanu's case, it was his forceful extraction from Kenya and his rather unceremonious return to Nigeria to face charges. The appeal court said this was a blatant disregard for international law and, crucially, a violation of his fundamental human rights. They called it most unpardonable, and I dare say that's putting it mildly. Let's look at the legal niceties, or lack thereof. The court emphasized that the Federal High Court never had the jurisdiction to even try Kanu because of this fundamental breach of due process. Imagine a referee blowing the whistle before the game even starts because one team decided to cheat their way onto the field. That's essentially what happened here. Justice Sankey, with the precision of a surgeon, highlighted that because Kanu was not lawfully brought before the court, any proceedings against him were fundamentally flawed, like building a skyscraper on quicksand. Eventually, it's all coming down. And then there's Section 36 of the 1999 Constitution, which, for those keeping score at home, guarantees every citizen the right to a fair hearing. The appeal court slammed the federal government for violating this sacred tenet. They noted that the charges against Kanu were amended while he was still enjoying his freedom on bail, a legal courtesy that was then abruptly revoked when he was, shall we say, repatriated against his will. This, according to the court, made it impossible for him to prepare an adequate defense. It's like inviting someone to a boxing match, tying one of their hands behind their back, and then wondering why they can't fight properly. Not exactly fair, is it? The federal government's response to these grave allegations of illegal rendition? Crickets, a resounding silence. The court noted that the government utterly failed to provide any explanation or evidence to counter Kanu's claim that he was abducted and illegally brought back to Nigeria. It's like being accused of stealing a cookie and then just staring blankly, pretending you didn't hear. Not a good look, legally speaking. So, what does this mean for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? In theory, it means he walks free. The appeal court ordered his immediate and unconditional release. Imagine that, from facing life imprisonment to potentially walking out a free man, all thanks to a court saying, "Hold on a minute, you cheated." However, this is Nigeria, and as we all know, things are rarely that simple. The federal government, like a stubborn toddler who doesn't want to give up their toy, has already hinted that they might be heading to the Supreme Court, because apparently, if at first you don't succeed, appeal again. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The appeal court's ruling is a monumental victory for Kanu and his legal team. It's a loud and clear message to the government: you cannot circumvent the law, especially when it comes to fundamental human rights and due process. The judgment from the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, which had already called for Kanu's unconditional release, now looks like a prophetic decree rather than just a recommendation. It's like the UN saying, "We told you so," and the appeal court nodding in agreement. This ruling also sets a powerful precedent. It tells future governments that the ends do not justify the means, especially when those means involve violating international law and basic human decency. It's a win for civil liberties, a win for due process, and a massive headache for the folks in Abuja who are probably already planning their victory speeches. Oh, the irony. Now, let's talk about the implications. For the indigenous people of Biafra, this is nothing short of a huge moral victory. Their leader, who they believe has been unjustly detained, now has a legal pathway to freedom. This could significantly impact the ongoing agitation for self-determination and the political landscape of the Southeast. Emotions will be running high, and rightly so. It's like watching your favorite underdog team finally win the championship against all odds. However, the journey might not be over. The federal government's potential move to the Supreme Court means this saga could continue. We've seen this movie before, haven't we? A court makes a ruling and the government finds another legal avenue to challenge it. It's a game of legal tennis, and right now the ball is firmly in Kanu's court, but the opponent is preparing for a formidable serve. For those of you wondering about the exact legal technicalities, the court specifically relied on Section 2 of the Terrorism Prevention Act, which mandates that the Federal High Court must have jurisdiction, but crucially, it hinged on the fact that the initial process of bringing Kanu back was fundamentally flawed. If you don't have jurisdiction at the start, you don't have it for the rest of the race. Simple as that. What does this mean for the rule of law in Nigeria? It's a mixed bag, really. On one hand, it shows that the judiciary, despite its flaws, can still stand as a bulwark against executive overreach. It's a glimmer of hope that justice, however slow, can still prevail. On the other hand, the fact that such a blatant violation of due process occurred in the first place, leading to a prolonged detention, speaks volumes about the challenges facing human rights and legal compliance in the country. It's like saying, well, at least the fire department showed up, even though the house burned down a bit first. So, while we celebrate this significant legal triumph for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we must remain cautiously optimistic. The battle isn't over until he's truly free, walking among his people. The road to justice is often long and winding, filled with more twists and turns than a Lagos traffic jam. But for today, the appeal court has delivered a powerful message. Fair hearing is not a privilege, it is a right. And violating it? Well, that just makes your entire case go poof like a magician's trick gone wrong. Keep your eyes glued to this channel because we will be tracking every single development, every legal maneuver, and every political ripple this groundbreaking judgment creates. This story is far from over, and trust me, you won't want to miss a single chapter. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you even doing? Hit that button, turn on your notifications, and join our community of informed citizens. We've got more hot takes and breaking news coming your way that will make your head spin. Until next time, stay smart, stay informed, and always question everything. See you in the next one.